Abraham Lincoln's life is one of the most extraordinary journeys in human history, a journey that proves that greatness is not inherited, but built through struggle, perseverance, and moral courage. Born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky, Lincoln entered the world with almost no material wealth. His family lived in extreme poverty, surrounded by dense forests, harsh weather, and constant uncertainty. From the very beginning, his life demanded resilience. His father, Thomas Lincoln, was a hardworking man, but land disputes, financial instability, and frontier hardships forced the family to move repeatedly. These frequent relocations meant Abraham never experienced a stable childhood. Instead, he grew up working the land, clearing forests, splitting rails, and performing exhausting physical labor from an early age. Childhood for him was not a time of comfort. It was a time of endurance. When Abraham was just 9 years old, tragedy struck in the most painful way possible. His mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, passed away after a sudden illness. Her death left a deep emotional wound that never truly healed. She had been gentle, thoughtful, and deeply influential in shaping his values. Losing her forced Abraham to mature quickly, teaching him the reality of loss and sorrow long before most children ever encounter it. This early grief quietly shaped his lifelong empathy and understanding of human suffering. Education was scarce on the frontier. Schools were rare, temporary, and poorly equipped. In total, Lincoln received less than 1 year of formal schooling in his entire life. Yet his mind refused to remain limited. He developed a deep love for learning, borrowing books whenever he could find them and walking miles just to read. At night, after long days of labor, he would read by firelight, absorbing every word with intense focus. Books became his teachers, his escape, and his foundation. Through self-study, Lincoln taught himself grammar, mathematics, history, philosophy, and eventually law. He read the Bible, Shakespeare, and classic works that shaped his thinking and language. This self-education gave him a unique ability to express complex ideas with clarity and simplicity, an ability that later defined his leadership and speeches. As a young adult, Lincoln took on a wide range of jobs. He worked as a rail splitter, a flatboat laborer, a store clerk, a postmaster, and a surveyor. These roles placed him directly among ordinary people, farmers, workers, and small-town families. He listened to their stories, understood their struggles, and earned their trust through fairness and honesty. His reputation grew not because of wealth or power, but because people believed in his character. This trust eventually earned him the enduring nickname Honest Abe. Despite having no formal legal training, Lincoln decided to become a lawyer. Through disciplined self-study, he mastered the law and passed the bar in 1836. As a lawyer in Illinois, he became known for his ethical approach, logical arguments, and ability to connect with juries. He avoided manipulation and focused on justice, believing the law should serve truth rather than ambition. Lincoln's entry into politics was driven by principle rather than personal gain. He served multiple terms in the Illinois state legislature, where he opposed corruption, supported public education, and advocated for infrastructure development. Later, he served 1 term in the U.S. Congress, but afterward returned to private law practice, feeling that the nation and he himself were not yet ready for greater responsibility. National attention came in 1858 during the historic debates with Stephen A. Douglas. Though Lincoln lost the Senate race, his words traveled across the country. His argument that the United States could not survive, permanently divided between slavery and freedom, struck a moral chord. He spoke calmly, logically, and honestly, never with hatred, but with conviction. The debates transformed him into a national figure. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. His victory triggered immediate crisis. Before he could even take office, 7 southern states seceded, forming the Confederate States of America. The nation stood on the edge of collapse and soon descended into the American Civil War. Lincoln entered the presidency with limited political experience, but immense moral strength. The war tested him beyond measure. He faced military defeats, political opposition, public criticism, and the deaths of hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Yet he remained steady, patient, and deeply committed to preserving the Union. In 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring freedom for millions of enslaved people in Confederate-held territories. This act transformed the war into a fight for human freedom and justice, reshaping the moral identity of a nation. Though slavery was not immediately abolished everywhere, the proclamation set the nation firmly on the path toward equality. That same year, Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address. In just a few minutes, he captured the meaning of sacrifice, democracy, and equality in words that would echo through history. The speech redefined the purpose of the war and reaffirmed the belief that government should exist for the people, by the people. Despite the weight of leadership, Lincoln remained deeply human. He visited wounded soldiers, read letters from grieving families, and personally mourned the cost of war. At home, he faced immense personal loss. He married Mary Todd in 1842, and together they endured the devastating deaths of 3 of their 4 sons. Lincoln also struggled with lifelong depression, yet he never allowed bitterness to control him. Instead, he used humor, storytelling, and humility to survive emotionally and connect with others. Just days after the Civil War ended, tragedy struck again. On April 14, 1865, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. The nation was left in shock and mourning, having lost the leader who had guided it through its darkest hour. Beyond politics, Lincoln was a man of remarkable depth. He was a skilled wrestler in his youth, a brilliant storyteller, and the only U.S. president to hold a patent. His wit, compassion, and moral clarity made him unforgettable. From a poor frontier boy to one of the most influential leaders in history, Abraham Lincoln's life proves that adversity does not limit destiny. Character defines it. His legacy continues to inspire the world, reminding us that courage, honesty, and perseverance can change the course of history.